Namaste. In the series of life skill videos that I'm doing, today's topic is how to help children to think critically and creatively in mathematics. Now, before I really tell you how to help children to think critically, first of all, it's very important to understand what exactly is critical and creative thinking. Simply put, it is just the ability to think clearly and rationally about a topic or an idea and analyze it in a way that helps us solve problems. Now, deep analysis over a topic or a problem is the key to success in school, college, or career, as it helps our society to move forward with solutions to our everyday life problems. So, we must encourage a critical thinking mindset in a child. Fostering an attitude and frame of mind that allows children to learn to think critically is what teachers and parents should really strive for. Actually, when we start thinking critically and creatively, we start making better choices all around. Whether it is just, asking yourself how to handle an interpersonal conflict, or just a simple thing like what to eat for lunch or what to eat for breakfast or dinner. So, actually, if you see, wisdom after all is often as simple as um thinking before you act. So, critical thinking is the first step towards wisdom. We can also put it this way. And learning to think critically, to help children to think critically, is something that is being given so much importance in today's context. In the new education policy 2020 and also the Nipun Bharat mission that was started on 5th July 2021 by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. So, a lot of importance is given to critical and creative thinking. Now, when it comes to really teaching the children, coming to how to go about teaching the children, teaching creative thinking skills to children might at first seem like an impossible task, Now, considering the developmental capabilities of children, we all understand that our children, they think more at the literal level. Now, to move away from thinking at literal level and helping them to think critically, a conscious effort has to be made by all the three stakeholders, that is the students, the teachers and the parents. I should also tell you that it's not in one day or 2 days or in a week or so. Suddenly the students don't start thinking, they don't start thinking critically, or they will not start developing analytical thinking abilities, skills overnight. And the process must be taught and reinforced throughout the child's education. As we all understand that the foundational stage of a child's education is the primary education. So catching them young is the key to help them to think analytically. Now, what are the things that as a teacher or as a parent we can do to help our children to think critically? As a few points I have in my mind, and I will just explain those points to you. First thing is, ask children open-ended questions. Help them to wonder. That is the first key to help a child thinking analytically or critically. For example, just a small example I will give. Just asking the children, how do you get the number 100? So we can tell them, like we can give examples. 1 plus 99 is 100, 2 plus 98 is 100, 3 plus 97 is 100. And then ask the children further, like now you tell, what are the different ways in which you can add two numbers and get 100 as the answer. So they will say 50 plus 50, 25 plus 75, so on and so forth. The second thing you can do is create an atmosphere where kids aren't afraid to be wrong. Because any kind of learning, any kind of process of learning, we do learn by making mistakes. So children will make mistakes when they are learning. So it's very important as parents and teachers not to demotivate the child when the child makes mistakes, but to motivate and encourage the child, not encourage the child to improve on himself, or create an atmosphere where the child is not afraid to be wrong. The third thing that can be done is examine different points of view. Same concept, you can ask the child or the children in the class their own point of view about the topic. Next thing is to connect different ideas and examine the relationship between that. In my earlier video on how to develop critical and creative thinking skills in English, I have given an example in this regard. And then the next thing that the teacher or nowadays in the house also, the parents can also do is to inspire imagination and creativity in children. And you can sit in the house itself and explore different ideas that are interesting to the child. Different children will have their own different kind of interest. Like if somebody is interested in art, you can sit with the child and help. Both the parent and the child can sit together and explore different collaborate and do art projects. You can do science experiments. Our kitchen is the most best example where you can do different kinds of experiments, science experiments with air, experiments with water, experiments with different kind of food items, experiments with different kinds of spices. So that is a very good idea that can be taken up by the parents in the house. And also, if it is possible to collaborate with friends, doing group projects and work with a friend or working in collaboration with their peers, that will be very good strategy to develop critical thinking skills. Of course, we have a constraint of online classes, and many of us are not meeting, but still, if you have a sibling, if the child is having a sibling, both the children can sit together and they can take up a topic and they can collaborate with that. Now, when it comes to elementary education especially, I would like to highlight a few things regarding teaching mathematics in elementary classes. I will start from class 1. So in elementary classes, the first we have to start numbers. First, numbers from 1 to 9, and teaching numbers can be made very, very interesting. If you have an abacus, if you can use an abacus in class or in the house, it will be of great help, because it has got colorful beads. It will be very interesting and attractive to the children. So first start with an abacus and teach them to count numbers from 1 to 9. Count everything, you can count whatever is available in the house or whatever is available with the teacher that can be counted. It can be counting toys, steps, books, pencils, building blocks, etc. Then once the child is familiar with numbers from 1 to 9, the child can familiarize the child with numbers from 10 to 20. Like add one more number, it becomes 10, and then 11, 12, like that. After that you can teach up to 100 depending upon the the interest of the child. You can move up to 100. And then the next step is very important, very interesting and important step is learning to count backwards. It can be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then again from number 20 to 1, then 30 to 1, 40 to 1, like that. And then finally from 100 to 1. It can be done for bigger numbers also. The next step, it can be made fun also with lots of activities in the house itself. The next thing that can be done is skip counting. It's a very, very interesting exercise in mathematics, that is skip counting. So skip counting can be started with 5s, then 10s, and then only 3s and 2s and all. So once a child gains confidence by counting in 5s or 10s, which is much easier than counting in 2s and 3s, the child will automatically move on to and learn counting in 3s, counting in 2s, counting on 4s, etc. And next thing is while teaching addition, just very simple way, don't make it very complicated. So there are so many theories about addition and subtraction and all, no need to go for all that. Just tell the child adding one more number, just add one more number to the number that you're having. One more thing you add into it and say this is addition. Plus 1 is addition, and then moving forward is addition, moving backward is subtraction. Then another thing that you can do with the child is playing games that show numbers. In this regard, I would highly recommend Snakes and Ladders game, that the board game that earlier we used to play. Even I think now it is available in computerized form also, it is available, wherein you have numbers from 1 to 100. And there you can do backward counting also. Once you are bitten by the snake, you have to come down, so you have to do backward counting. So it's a very good game for the child to understand numbers from 1 to 100. Then it is very important to teach the child the concept of zero, removing everything, keeping a number and then removing everything from there and telling the child there is nothing, that is zero. So the concept of zero has to be taught very clearly to the child. Then only we start teaching the concept of place value, and then multiplication is nothing but repeated addition, and subtraction and division is nothing but repeated subtraction. And then most important, of course, then after that you can teach them time, measurement, fractions, decimals, and further factors and all those kinds of things. And one very important thing that I want to emphasize here while teaching mathematics, not only to elementary classes but to all the classes, is that practice maths skills daily. That is the best, most important key to learning. Learning to do well in maths is to do it daily. Daily, if you are doing daily practice in mathematics, will definitely make you a very good scorer in mathematics, and it also helps you to think analytically. Now I want to give a small activity. Not an activity, I think I should call it a teaching learning material that can be used very effectively while teaching decimals. While teaching fractions in decimals, sometimes it becomes a little difficult for the child to understand the concept of decimals. Mind you, this has to be taught after you teach fractions, after the child is thorough with the concept of fractions. Once you are teaching decimals, this TLM can be used. Now, this is a TLM that you can make for decimals, for teaching decimals to children. The decimal, the whole part, once you write the decimal on the blackboard or on the in the online class, if you are writing on your whiteboard, this thing has to be very, very clear in the child's mind that there is a whole part and a decimal part. If you make colorful TLMs like this, it will be very attractive to the child and you can catch the attention of the child. Now, decimal place value chart is given here. This is a whole part and this is a decimal part. Now, if you give any number to the child and tell them that we start counting, this is a place value ones, tens, hundreds and thousands. And after the decimals, towards the right side of the decimals, we have tens, hundreds and thousands. And this side, to the left side of the decimal, it is the whole part, and towards the right side of the decimal, it is the decimal part. So, this thing has to be very, very clear to the child. There is one more activity that the children can do with this kind of teaching learning material. And here what is being done, what has been done is that the whole part and the decimal, the whole part and the decimal part, as I showed in the earlier TLM, it has been divided like this, and we are having numbers, and there are strips of numbers from 1 to 9. You can see here, I will just show. This is from 1 to 9. It can go inside and like this. Now, if I ask a child, and all of these are having strips like this, numbers from 1 to 9. I hope it is visible clearly on the camera. Now, once we have already taught the child the concept of decimals, if we want to do some kind of evaluation or an assessment, this tool, this TLM will be of great use. I write a number on the blackboard or on the whiteboard in the case of online teaching, and ask the child what is the place value of that. Now, if every child is having something like this, what the child will do is, for example, the number is 346. The child will first do the number 6 here, then number 4 here, and then move the strips in such a way that that number comes. So, this is 346 point, I say, for example, I say 28, 22, so 2 and then 8. So, this is a way to develop, help the children to develop, how to properly understand the whole part and the decimal part, and the place values in the whole part and in the decimal part as well. Hope this video will be useful to all the teachers, the parents, and also to the students. Thank you.